LA. It spawned Agustino, Giorgio. I mean,
downtown?
No, it was here. It was
no. It spawned the restaurant downtown. I forgot the name. Where,
I remember, but it's on the top of my head. But nonetheless, it was the most authentic, because before that all you had was sort of red sauce, Americanized, mafioso type Italian restaurants. And this was the first real Italian restaurant. So of course, everybody ate there.
Is that right? That is what we always used to say.
There.
That was like the saying, everybody ate there.
Well, I had to argue with the owner because he'd want to give away tables to walk-ins. And I said, you can't do that. Barry Diller's coming in and he wants his table when he wants it. You have to respect their, honor their reservations. It was
so you started, so you knew this business, and you were in a restaurant where everybody ate.
Right.
And then the book.
Everybody ate there. Il Giardino, everybody ate there. And what happened is, over the years, I did start working in the film business, and I put 2 directors on the map, both Italian, of course. One just directed Will Smith's new movie, Gabriele Muccino.
So do you speak Italian?
I speak fluent Italian.
And French?
And French, and some English. Some English. My English is pretty bad. And I do speak Spanish. You have to in Los Angeles.
So here's the book. Everybody eats there.
Well, this came about because I had a film project about a chef, way before the Food Channel ever became as popular as it is. And like it happens in the film business, I don't want to go into it, but slightly screwed on the story, but I put my foot down. I said, nobody does this story but me. So I had this passion for restaurants, and I used to email my friends after I would go to something great, and I emailed a friend of mine after eating in a restaurant in New York, and he said to me, damn, I wish I'd gone with you, but I'm going to follow what you told me to do. And he did, and he said, have you ever thought about writing a book? And I said, or he said, or being a food critic. And I said, no, I don't want to be a food critic because I don't want to eat out every night in a restaurant. And I'm not a critic, I'm more of an observer. I like to watch what's going on in a restaurant. I don't like to criticize because every restaurant has something great to offer.
So let's get into these restaurants that are so great.
I got this idea, and I came to my co-author, William Stadium, who I used to be the food critic for LA Magazine. He'd written for many, many magazines, and he's written a number of books. And I also knew he was passionate about food like I was. And I came up with this idea, and he says, oh, no, we'll never get an agent. No, we'll never get a book deal. And I said, yes, we will, yes, we will, yes, we will, and we did.
And then you had to pick 100 legendary restaurants. How'd you do that?
Well, between the 2 of us, we're both well-traveled. Maybe Bill a little more so than I am. And we went through the key cities in the world. So we have Moscow, Tokyo, Sydney, LA, New York, San Francisco, Miami, Rio, Sao Paulo, London, Paris, Rome, Madrid, Venice.
And then you have this all-encompassing...
And the south of France, sorry.
Yeah, but you have this little thing that covers the continent, European...
Right, we divided up the book into sort of sections.
Yeah, but so what makes a restaurant legendary? I mean, you're in all these famous cities, but what makes a restaurant legendary?
Okay, we have what we call the 3 Fs, food, fun, and fame.
Right.
And each of these places are fun, because... And I will speak for myself. I am a great cook. I have friends that are great cooks. I love to entertain at home. But there's nothing more fun than going out to a restaurant and people watching. So I love to be in a place where the food has to be probably secondary, because most of the really fabulous restaurants, which I love too, don't get me wrong. I am a big fan of Thomas Keller and Jean-Georges Van der Reichen and Alain Ducasse and Daniel Boulou. They're fantastic chefs, but they're very serious restaurants. I like to have fun when I go out.
You talked about fun and the stars, and one of the things that legendary restaurants have are Michelin stars, but they also have celebrity stars.
Right.
How important are those things?
I don't really care about the Michelin stars
because
I think the Michelin stars only rate French restaurants. It's very rare when they give a star to anything but a French restaurant. So for me, it might work in France, but in other cities in the world, I don't even judge it. I mean, we did put some restaurants in the book that were starred that are not French.
right.
In London,
Oh,
we have
right.
Hakkasan, and that's one of the few restaurants that are not French. It's Chinese.
And in L.A.?
In LA,
They don't have
we
stars, do
no,
they?
Nobody has stars. We have movie stars.
Yeah, so that's the
We have
difference.
movie stars and political stars.
So we had Mr. Chow, Morton's.
We have Giorgio Ago, the Ivy, Nate and Now's, and the coffee shop
I
at the
know.
Beverly Hills Hotel. On any given day, you can walk in there and see somebody famous.
And those are fun places,
And they're
like you're
fun.
talking about.
But they also have good food. And you have to know that that's the second thing. Each of these places that we write about, I don't care what it is, all of them have a certain quality that they maintain.
So let me tell you, you have, you go to these restaurants, and sometimes you don't even have to look at the menu because you are so in. What is that about?
I know. I went to the Ivy the other night, and I didn't look at the menu.
You don't use
I
the
asked
menu.
him for what the specials were, and I just...
Okay, is that what you
I kind
do?
of knew what I wanted. I'm a creature of habit, so each place has something that I love.
And you mentioned
we
that.
put it in the book.
I know, I think that's so great that it's
because
in the
they
book.
are they're the specialties.
And
so.
before we leave, I know the 10 Commandments. I think the last commandment is really great, to check your check.
Absolutely. I had a little experience in the south of France. Be sure when you eat in these restaurants that you check your bill to make sure that they haven't overcharged you, double charged you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
But if you're going to a legendary restaurant, don't you think that you should have the confidence that that's not going to happen?
Well, guess what? In some legendary restaurants, they're cash restaurants. And cash restaurants are very hard to have a paper trail. I went to a restaurant called T3p3 in the south of France, and guess what? I paid my 147 euros. That's nearly $200 for a dinner. I was doing research on the book. And mind you, my publisher was not paying for this. This came out of my pocket.
So your research was all on your own.
All on our own.
With-
We paid
with Bill
for it
and
out of
with
our
you.
pocket, okay?
So it wasn't a PR, this isn't any PR stunt.
No, and not at all. We paid ourselves. Nobody gave us any free dinners anywhere. So, not even in my own family. So, no, I take that back. But there's got to be one place you can eat for free.
Exactly.
And that has to be at home. But nonetheless, I left that restaurant after paying, and some friends of mine came the next night, and the owner of the restaurant told them that I had charged my dinner to them.
Oh, to your friends?
Absolutely. And they had taken me the night before for dinner, and I interviewed the owner afterwards. And I got this message from them, and I was furious. And I tracked them down, and I said I did nothing of the sort. And I told friends of my family who had pushed me to go to T3p3 to include them in the book
You
because
did
it's so
include
famous.
it, yes.
That, you know, it's a fabulous restaurant. They're famous for the bouillabaisse. They're famous for the tomatoes provençal. Well, guess what? They also double charge. And they did. I paid my bill, and my friend paid my bill again.
Oh, so that's
Because
really bad. That's
He didn't know.
That's commandment number 10, number 10. And we have to go, but I know, think about the kitchen and the chef, and how to dress, and give your table up,
Oh, yeah,
so
that's
that they'll love
important.
you. And I thank you so much for coming in today.
Well, thank you, Joan, for having me, please.
And keep writing to 777 South Figueroa, 44th floor, Los Angeles 90017. Bye.